Hey guys, welcome back. Maverick here, today with another episode of Sonny Boy. And I gotta say guys, this series is probably my favorite of the season at this point in time. Even though it's still not, it's definitely still confusing as heck. Well, actually I wouldn't really say it's confusing as heck, right? I think we, at this point, have a pretty good grasp of what the series is trying to tell, what it's trying to convey or whatnot, but, the fact that it's original and the fact that it can literally go anywhere just brings that degree of unpredictability into the anime. So literally we don't know what's gonna happen next and how the situation is going to develop and whatnot, right? At this point in time we do know of the the major powers of the main characters and whatnot, including Nagara, who see, he was the guy responsible for the portals all along, right? And again, my big theory here is that he's probably the reason why the entire class or these students got transported into this world and so on and so forth. But, what it actually all means, of course, I think it has to do with coming of age. Once Nagara finds his own direction or whatnot, they'll all eventually go back. But, anything can still happen. And probably the journey is as equally as important as the end. So, without further ado, let's get into this next episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I say favorite of this season. It's not like I'm watching that many anime from this season. Huh? Pac-Man? Go Hobie? Reward? Damn, that was fast. Why is she wearing a sweater right now? I love how it just starts us off like in the middle of something as usual, right? What the hell is that? What the hell was that mouth right there? Yeah, I think he needs to have like something concrete that he truly wants, right? I have the feeling that the reason he's not able to transport them all back is because it's not in his heart at this point to do that, right? If we go by my theory that Nagara is the reason why all of these students are here in the first place, then before he reaches a conclusion, right? Nope. Hold on, just a second. Alright, anyways, as I was saying, I really don't think they are going to be able to go back, and Nagara's not going to be able to transport them back until he reaches some sort of conclusion in his own heart, in his own mind. I wonder who was the voice actress for that. Oh yeah, we had that teacher at the end of last episode. Yeah, I still feel like there's something funny in the relationship between these. A computer mouse, eh? So it was just a pun in the end? Trippy. Female report? Where did she go? Yeah, where did the teacher go? Like Hoshi. And, Musings. Hmm.
僕らの学校のモットー。
What's that guy's problem? He keeps biting his fingernails.
素晴らしい。君が作ったんだろう。みんなのために。何がです。褒めてるんだ。嬉しくないのか。俺なんて大したことないですか。なぜって有能な人間は他にいくらでもいるでしょ。別にそれはこの世界に限った。それは違う。おかげでこの島は自然に住んでいる。君はみんなとは違う。特別なオンリーワンなんだ。それは
Okay, so Asakaze just wants to be complimented. Is that it? He just wants to be understood?
君は特別な存在。こんな世界に縛られなくていい。時は迫り来た。君は進化する。それが君にしかできない。
Mm-hmm. You know what? Oh, never mind. I was gonna place a bet on who's the one voicing the mouse. I think it's Onishi-san, the voice of Nozomi. You want to see yourself in the mirror? See the mouse.
じゃあ、あんたの出番ももうすぐかもね。僕よっ、救世主。日本一、ハゲ、ハゲあ、何いや、その、俺にとって今君は、救世主どころか、その逆っていうかさ、その、むしろ。ちょっと話があるんだけど、いい？僕？はあ？わざとやってるわけないでしょ？ながらはそんなことしない。状況だけ見ればそう考えるのが自然だろう。能力があることは確かだけど、それだけで決めつけるなんて間違ってる。
I mean, the smartest of you guys already.
みんなの前で本当のことを言ってもらおうと思って。どうなんだながら、答えろ。違います。僕がやったんじゃない。
No, I do think that it's possible that, maybe not intentionally, but maybe unintentionally. 受験に向けて頑張ってたやつもいる。部活だってそうだ。俺らは帰らなきゃいけないんだ。僕はそんなつもりじゃ。俺ら、お前たちは必要とされてる。謝罪しろよ。はあ？I mean, I feel like it's kind of even more obvious to think that that Aki teacher would be the one to do something like this, right? So again, like, we need to see the growth of Nagara before we can get back. Oh, was that Nozomi there? What? Nozomi really is just a action-oriented woman, isn't she? Sorry, I'm muting background music. But this is nice. Yeah, Nagara just needs someone to keep on pushing him. I wonder if Nozomi is, one of those who have a bad childhood or something like that. I actually do think that's... But if that's the case, why did he bring everyone along, though? You know, even though, like, it's definitely really, really blood boiling that they're treating him this way. I do think there are elements of truth to what they are saying, though. Wait, that's Kenjiro's voice. Why is this teacher here in the first place, though? I... And really, and none of you are like, so why couldn't he just have done this before? So that turned out to be more important than we thought. He just needs to be wanted. Well, if that's the case, then he's kind of similar to Asakaze, isn't he? Is that why Asakaze is so hostile toward him? What? Creating. Hmm. Yeah, so I guess the more that, right, if we're assuming that, uh, okay. But, no, I have some thoughts about that. And yeah, that's Kenjiro. Alright, I'll see you guys after this. Alright guys, another episode, another one with very intriguing scenes and concepts and whatnot in them. And quite a big development in story as well, right? First of all, let's get through, I think, the stuff that is more easier to get out of the way, right? Like the visuals, the music and whatnot. Again, absolutely brilliant. I still feel like it has a very unique way of presenting, you know, its colors and the animation style and whatnot. It frequently shifts a little bit as well to exaggerated features and shapes and forms and whatnot, but still overall I think nobody can really disagree that it's really vibrant, it's really something, it's really interesting to look at and fun to look at, and it's definitely a piece of art, right? It's definitely a work of art. Yeah, I just hope that more people are able to watch this, even if the underlying concepts and the story itself maybe isn't exactly the most comfortable or the most easy to understand, or heck, maybe not even the most interesting to people, right? For me, really more so than the whatever message is trying to convey, I'm more drawn into this anime, the underlying concept and story, because I'm trying to figure it out. To me, this is more like a mystery, and I'm trying to solve it. So that's the attitude I'm coming at for this. As for what it's actually trying to say at the very end here, well, still not entirely sure, right? So, anyways, putting aside the music and the arts and visuals and that stuff aside, which we can all agree is great, right? So, what fundamentally are we looking at right now? And you could say for this episode, right? I already mentioned before, my guess was that everybody was transported into this world due to Nagara, and it seemed that the rest of the students reached that same conclusion as well. I'm still not sure if it's entirely wrong to assume that. Now, obviously, the way that the other students went and confronted Nagara about this definitely wasn't exactly. Well, it's human nature, right? And we've known this since the beginning, right? This is going to be a series that kind of also presents these ideals or ideas to you. The good, the bad, the ugly of human nature, and so on and so forth, of society, of the expectations placed on you, all that sort of thing, right? We've been looking at a lot of these we've been looking at a lot of these problems throughout every single episode here, especially for those who are a little bit more ostracized by the rest of the normals, right? The rest of the normies, if you will, to use a 4chan lingo and whatnot. But still, I'm not entirely sure if fundamentally what they were saying about Nagara is wrong, right? Obviously, I'm sure that he's not doing this on purpose or anything, but the question still lies on, is this a result of him trying to escape, right? Now, on the other hand, we already see within this episode as well that Mizuho herself, she said that actually God, we already know that she was able to use her powers even back in the real world, and now she's apparently coming out and saying that God told her that she was going to be the cause of everyone becoming adrift, right? So this means that there is this sort of God character here. Hoshi can hear this God character, and Mizuho can hear this God character. And I'm wondering if that is actually the voice that Nagara heard as well whilst he was crying, right? Probably, and if that is true, that is the God character, and it is that same voice, well, that's the voice of Kenjiro, right? Probably my favorite male voice actor, I just love his deep voice and all that. And so yeah, so then that brings another twist to the plot, right? So it might be, it might be more interlaced, more so between, it was the result of the combination of the wishes or the wants or needs of many people stacked together that caused them to become to get into this situation in the first place, right? And actually, I think that also makes a lot of sense, right? We know that there are 4 main characters here. We could say the main cast, which is, of course, Nagara, Nozomi, Mizuho, and Asakaze, right? I do believe Asakaze counts as one of the main cast as well. It might, the fact that they are adrift here and in these worlds and so on and so forth might be a result of all 4 of their wishes or desires or whatnot, or sometimes, whatever is driving this entire world or concept fundamentally. It might be the result of all 4 of them in some way. Certainly, I think it makes a lot of sense if you just look at Nagara and Nozomi, right? Nozomi having this light that's pointing towards home, and Nagara with this ideal to, well, then again, if his ability is actually to create worlds and not transport between worlds, assuming that is actually Asakaze's ability, well, that also places another, that's also another twist in the works and whatnot. So, maybe this is going to be more complicated than I initially expected. But that's okay, right? That makes it fun. And the fact that this is an original anime means that nobody knows what's going to happen, so we can go completely crazy with theories and what it's trying to convey and all that sort of good stuff. And that's what I find fun and interesting. But still, though, I still feel like the conclusion of this anime, or the conclusion of this situation, will come when their, I guess, psychological profile, their mental state or whatnot has matured in a way. I still believe that fundamentally this is sort of a coming of age anime. It's dealing with these these teenagers here, these adolescents who are just about to enter into what we call the real world, right? Graduating from high school and choosing either to go to college, get a job, raise a family, and all that sort, the good stuff and whatnot, or adult life, if you want to call it that way. So they are going to have to reach some sort of peace with themselves as well. I think there's definitely something troubling each of these characters, even Nozomi as well, right? I think even her, there's probably something that she probably has her own darkness as well, if you will, within her, and that's what's driving her to have this kind of personality. So that's my theory on her, anyways. And indeed, in the episode, we do see a little bit of it seemed to be like the what's it called? Like like Nozomi while she was young, I think. Right? We saw like the broken vase and whatnot. I'm assuming that wasn't Nagara and that was actually Nozomi, because, well, it seemed like a girl instead, which, yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe she in the past somehow was in a similar kind of situation to Nagara, or maybe, who knows, maybe she is also the result of some sort of trauma as well, right? And she's doing her best to stay positive and so on and so forth in her life, that kind of thing. But yeah, so these are all speculation, of course, so we'll know later on. Definitely, I feel like these four are all critical, and they all need to change or grow or mature in some sort of way in order for this to be done. And the fact, see, going back to Nagara once again, right? I mentioned, like, assuming that his ability was teleportation and kind of like an escape ability or whatnot, and you can go from world to world and whatnot, and actually take people along with you as well. I was thinking that it's the closer he is to a more stable mental state, or get his confidence or whatnot, or making a breakthrough in his own way of thinking and so on and so forth. That is what's driving, that's actually what's driving them closer and closer to the light that Nozomi is supposedly able to see, right? Because he's closer and closer to reaching that point, or maybe everybody around is closer and closer to reaching this point of understanding that, hey, they will be released from here, their trials are over, or whatever you want to call it, and they've completed the objective, and they can go back to their own world and continue life as usual, right? In fact, I wouldn't even be too surprised if at the end of this anime, it turns out that they all go back and nothing ever changed, right? Like, literally a second has passed in the real world or something of that sort. That is absolutely all possible as well. So yeah, anyways, and some other intriguing characters as well. I mean, there's definitely lots of intriguing scenes, and I do feel like there are subtleties in some scenes as well, like the decision to put certain characters within the same scene. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I find that there are certain scenes where the production or whatnot, they purposely put characters within the same scene, even though they aren't really the focal point of this, right? It definitely, this anime definitely gives me a cinematograph kind of feel, cinematic kind of feeling, whereas the shots are planned out to invoke certain emotions, or to hide certain hints in there, and it's all planned out. There's no real how can I say, the characters, if they're within a scene and you see them in the background doing something, I think that actually serves a purpose, and it's not just there for filler or whatnot, right? Because especially considering that this anime is really quite well animated, right? It definitely takes a lot of work and effort to do that. So I think those scenes all have meaning. So just to remind you guys that do pay attention to that. Maybe it's not entirely understandable, like what they actually mean or whatnot, but I do think it serves well to notice those kinds of things. And yeah, and talking about intriguing characters, probably the last one I will mention is Hoshi, right? We know that he's also one of those who I think maybe already had his superpowers in the real world. He's also the one who can supposedly hear the voice of God as well, and I find it kind of poetic in a way in this episode. He almost seems like the boy who cried wolf, right? Like that old fable, the one who is such a habitual liar or a manipulator that when it really comes to him, when it really comes to the time of being truthful and earns earnest and honest. Nobody believes him because of his his bad reputation, right? I do wonder if they're also trying to play at that a little bit within this episode as well, with the rest of the students not really listening to him anymore and choosing instead to follow the teacher, Aki Sensei, who, by the way, is still, a big question mark. Like, how did she come here? Why is she here? What is her purpose here? What is she trying to do around here? I mean, sure, we will know in the next few episodes, I guess, whenever we learn about whatever happens to Asakaze and the rest of the students. But anyways, that's it for this episode. Again, very, very intriguing. I do hope that more and more people can watch this. It's definitely, I feel, still very underrated at this point in time. But yeah, spread the word. Let people know that this is, even though it's an original, this is definitely a quality original. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. So see you guys then. Bye bye.